Welcome to Lakshadweep. Floating like emerald jewels in the Arabian Sea, Lakshadweep stands as India's only coral archipelago. Known for its pristine coral reefs, powder white beaches, and crystal-clear lagoons, this remote paradise consists of 36 islands scattered across the ocean, just 200 to 440 kilometers off Kerala's coast. Only 10 islands are inhabited, and access is so restricted that just 400 tourists are permitted at any time, making it one of India's most exclusive destinations. As we embark on a journey through Lakshadweep's most awe-inspiring wonders, we'll explore the hidden treasures of this coral paradise, uncover secluded beaches that few eyes have witnessed, and discover the unique culture that has flourished in this isolated haven. But before we dive into these incredible locations, let's begin with some fascinating facts about this extraordinary destination. Lakshadweep is India's only coral archipelago, comprising 36 islands of which just 10 are inhabited. These islands are actually living atolls formed on top of underwater volcanic mountains over thousands of years. With over 4,200 square kilometers of coral reefs, they support more than 100 coral species and 500+ types of fish, creating one of the most diverse marine ecosystems in the Indian Ocean region. The name Lakshadweep itself means 100,000 islands in Sanskrit, though the actual number is much smaller. These coral formations continue to grow just millimeters each year, building upon the legacy of countless generations of coral polyps. Lakshadweep maintains strict visitor restrictions, with only 400 tourists allowed at any time. All visitors require special permits obtained through registered tour operators, and stays are limited to specific islands designated for tourism. This controlled tourism approach has protected the islands from overdevelopment and environmental degradation that has affected many tropical destinations worldwide. The limited access has helped preserve both the pristine ecology and the unique cultural heritage of these remote islands. This policy represents one of the most restrictive tourism approaches in India, prioritizing conservation over commercial interests to ensure long-term sustainability. While Malayalam is widely spoken throughout Lakshadweep, the southernmost island of Minicoy has its own distinct language called Mahal, which is closely related to Divehi spoken in the Maldives. This linguistic difference highlights Minicoy's historical connection to Maldivian cultural influences, rather than mainland India. The other islands speak Jesari, a dialect of Malayalam with unique vocabulary reflecting their isolated maritime lifestyle. These language variations demonstrate how geography has shaped cultural development across the archipelago. Religious practices also reflect this diversity, with most islanders practicing Islam but maintaining distinctive local traditions that vary between islands. Vast coral reef ecosystem. A realm of underwater magic, Lakshadweep's coral reef ecosystem stands as one of India's most precious natural wonders. Stretching over an astonishing 4,200 square kilometers, this underwater paradise forms the foundation of life in these islands. The reefs aren't just beautiful, they're bustling underwater cities teeming with marine life. More than 100 different coral species create elaborate structures that house over 500 types of fish, creating a kaleidoscope of colors that seems almost too vibrant to be real. The reefs around Agatti and Bangaram Islands remain particularly pristine. While coral systems worldwide face destruction, Lakshadweep's isolation has protected them from mass tourism and pollution. These living structures have taken thousands of years to form, growing just a few millimeters each year, creating an underwater landscape that's both ancient and ever-evolving. Imagine swimming through crystal clear water, surrounded by schools of silver fish that move like a single organism, parting around you before rejoining in perfect harmony. Brilliantly colored parrotfish nibble at coral surfaces, while spotted sweetlips hover in the shadows of table corals. In deeper channels, elegant eagle rays soar like underwater birds, their spotted wings undulating gracefully as they pass. What makes these coral reefs truly special is their resilience. The islands form a natural barrier that shields the lagoons from strong currents, creating perfect conditions for coral growth. The local communities understand this delicate balance. For generations, they've lived in harmony with the reef, taking only what they need and respecting the ocean's rhythms. This relationship between people and nature offers a powerful lesson about sustainable living that resonates far beyond these islands. Bangaram Atoll's bioluminescent waters. As darkness falls over Lakshadweep, something magical happens along Bangaram's shores. The gentle waves begin to glow with an ethereal blue light. Each movement in the water, each footstep, each hand trailing through the surf, leaves behind a trail of glowing blue sparkles that shimmer momentarily before fading back into darkness. This natural phenomenon creates one of nature's most enchanting light shows, transforming the beach into a canvas of moving light. This isn't magic, it's bioluminescence. Millions of microscopic plankton called Noctiluca scintillans emit light when disturbed, creating a living light display that outshines any human-made spectacle. Locals call them sea sparkles, and their appearance transforms ordinary shorelines into something from another world. The best time to witness this natural wonder is between December and March, when the plankton population peaks. On moonless nights, the effect is even more dramatic, with each wave breaking in a cascade of blue fire. Unlike artificial light shows, this one happens completely naturally. No electricity, no technology, just living organisms responding to their environment. It's a reminder of how extraordinary our planet can be when left to its own devices. The scientific explanation that these organisms produce light through a chemical reaction involving an enzyme called luciferase does nothing to diminish the magic of witnessing this phenomenon firsthand. Local fishermen have long used this phenomenon to track schools of fish. The bioluminescence reveals movement underwater, guiding them to catches even in darkness. This knowledge, passed down through generations, shows the deep connection between islanders and their environment, a relationship built on intimate understanding rather than exploitation. Kadmat Island Lagoon. Kadmat Island cradles one of Lakshadweep's most spectacular lagoons, a 25 square kilometer expanse of sheltered water that seems almost too perfect to be real. Surrounded by a protective ring of coral reef, this natural aquarium showcases water in its most pristine form. The lagoon's shallow depth and protection from ocean currents create water visibility up to 20 meters, revealing an underwater world in high definition that few other places on Earth can match. The lagoon follows nature's rhythm, changing colors throughout the day like a living mood ring. Early morning brings silvery blues that catch the first light, deepening to vibrant turquoise by midday when the sun illuminates the sandy bottom. As evening approaches, the water catches the sunset's glow, transforming into liquid gold that mirrors the changing sky. This daily transformation creates an ever-changing canvas that photographers and visitors find endlessly captivating. Unlike the open ocean, Kadmat's lagoon remains calm even during rougher weather. The island's crescent shape and surrounding reef create a natural barrier, breaking powerful waves before they reach the sheltered waters inside. This protection has allowed delicate marine ecosystems to flourish, creating perfect conditions for coral gardens and nurseries for young fish. Local guides love sharing stories about the lagoon's healing properties. Many believe that swimming here relieves stress and rejuvenates the body. While science hasn't confirmed these claims, visitors regularly report feeling renewed after spending time in these pristine waters. The lagoon's sandy bottom is constantly shifting, sculpted by gentle currents into rippling patterns that hypnotize snorkelers. Nature's own underwater art that changes with each passing day. Giant clams of Agatti. Hidden in the shallow waters surrounding Agatti Island are some of the ocean's most remarkable residents, giant clams that can grow up to 1.2 meters wide. These massive mollusks, scientifically known as tridacna, are the largest bivalves on Earth, with some specimens weighing over 200 kilograms, heavier than many human adults. These living fossils can survive for more than a century, with the oldest recorded giant clam estimated to be 137 years old, a silent witness to generations of human history unfolding above the waves. What makes these creatures truly magical is their appearance. The exposed mantle tissue displays intricate patterns in electric blue, vivid purple, and golden yellow that seem almost artificial in their brilliance. No two clams share exactly the same design. Each is as unique as a human fingerprint. These colors come from symbiotic algae living in their tissues, creating a biological partnership that has allowed these animals to thrive for millions of years. Despite their imposing size, giant clams are harmless filter feeders that remain fixed in place once they mature. They obtain nutrients through a fascinating partnership with algae living in their tissues, a natural symbiosis that allows them to grow to such impressive dimensions. The clams provide shelter for the algae, while the algae photosynthesize and share nutrients with their hosts, a perfect example of nature's cooperative solutions. Local folklore once claimed that giant clams could trap divers, holding them underwater until they drowned. These myths likely arose from the clam's defensive mechanism, quickly closing its shell when shadows pass overhead. In reality, they close too slowly to trap humans, but the stories added to their mystique and probably helped protect them from early harvesting. These remarkable creatures face threats from poaching and habitat destruction. Their shells and meat are valuable in illegal wildlife trade, and climate change affects their coral reef homes. Recognizing their importance, Lakshadweep has implemented strict protection measures to ensure these magnificent creatures continue to thrive in their island sanctuary. Kalpeni's coral beaches. Unlike typical beaches formed from weathered rock, Kalpeni's shores consist entirely of coral fragments. Over countless generations, storms have broken pieces from the surrounding reef, which waves gradually crush into a fine, gleaming white powder. The result is beaches of extraordinary beauty. Brilliant white shorelines that curve around turquoise lagoons in perfect crescents of tropical paradise. When you walk across these beaches, something magical happens. Each footstep produces a distinct musical squeak, as if the shore itself is singing. This acoustic phenomenon occurs because the angular coral particles rub against each other, creating natural music found on very few beaches worldwide. Locals sometimes call them singing sands, and the sound becomes part of the sensory experience that makes Kalpeni unique. Kalpeni features a unique geological formation called Cheriam, a massive storm bank created in 1847 when a powerful cyclone tossed enormous coral boulders onto the island's eastern shore. These giant pieces, some larger than cars, remain as testament to nature's raw power and the ongoing relationship between sea and land that shapes these islands. Witnessing these massive coral blocks stranded far from the water's edge offers a humbling reminder of the ocean's strength. The coral composition gives these beaches their distinctive brilliant white color that never feels hot to the touch, even under the midday sun. Unlike sand, coral particles reflect rather than absorb heat, allowing barefoot walks even during the hottest hours. Local children have developed games specifically for these unusual shores, collecting the most perfectly formed coral pieces or creating temporary sculptures that last until the next high tide. The beaches serve as natural recycling systems. As coral dies, breaks down, and washes ashore, it eventually returns to the sea, where its calcium contributes to new reef growth. This perfect circle of creation and transformation has continued for thousands of years, connecting land and sea in a continuous exchange that sustains the entire island ecosystem. Pitti Bird Sanctuary. How can an island smaller than a football field support thousands of flying residents? Pitti, barely visible on most maps at just 1.21 hectares, punches far above its weight in ecological importance. This tiny, uninhabited speck of land serves as the breeding headquarters for Lakshadweep's seabird population, transforming into one of India's most densely populated bird colonies during nesting season. Each breeding season brings a spectacular transformation as thousands of terns, noddies, gulls, and shearwaters converge on this miniature island, turning every available space into prime real estate for raising chicks. The air fills with the constant movement of wings as birds arrive with food for hungry offspring or depart for fishing expeditions in the surrounding waters. Since gaining protected status in 1995, Pitti has become a crucial safe haven for species including the sooty tern, greater crested tern, and the lesser noddy. These seafaring birds spend months on the open ocean, returning to land only to breed and raise their young. The island's location, isolated yet within flying distance of rich fishing grounds, makes it ideal for seabirds. Without natural predators, birds can safely nest directly on the ground, their eggs and chicks protected only by vigilant parents. Bird calls create an almost deafening chorus during breeding season, a primal soundtrack unchanged for thousands of years. Each species has distinctive vocalizations, creating a complex layered symphony that experienced guides can read like a natural newspaper. The guano, bird droppings, accumulated over generations enriches the island's limited soil, allowing specialized plants to survive. These, in turn, provide nesting materials and shade for the birds, a perfect example of how wildlife creates its own supportive environment. For researchers, Pitti offers invaluable insights into seabird behavior, migration patterns, and responses to climate change. The bird's health serves as an early warning system for oceanic changes, making this tiny sanctuary a globally significant scientific site that contributes to our understanding of marine ecosystems far beyond its shores. Blue tiger butterflies migration. Every October, as monsoon rains recede, Kavaratti Island witnesses one of India's most overlooked natural migrations: the arrival of blue tiger butterflies, Tirumala limniaci. These striking insects, with their indigo-spotted wings spanning 4 inches, journey across the Arabian Sea to reach Lakshadweep in a feat of navigation that continues to puzzle scientists. The sight is breathtaking. Clouds of electric blue butterflies dancing around the island's vegetation, transforming trees and shrubs into living, fluttering tapestries. During peak migration, some trees become so covered with resting butterflies that their leaves disappear completely beneath a blanket of wings. The air seems alive with movement as thousands of delicate creatures float on the breeze, their wings catching sunlight in flashes of brilliant blue. Scientists still debate how these fragile creatures navigate the challenging sea crossing. Unlike birds, butterflies can't rest on water. They must complete the journey in one exhausting flight, guided by instincts we're only beginning to understand. Some researchers believe they ride high-altitude wind currents, while others suggest they might follow the Earth's magnetic field, a sophisticated navigation system packaged in a body weighing less than a gram. Local traditions view the butterfly migration as a blessing. According to island folklore, Years with abundant blue tigers bring good fortune and bountiful fishing. Children celebrate their arrival with songs and games that mimic the butterfly's dancing flight. The butterflies are drawn to specific plants found on the islands, particularly varieties of milkweed that provide essential nutrients. These plants contain compounds that the butterflies incorporate into their bodies, making them unpalatable to predators, a natural defense mechanism. Climate change threatens this delicate migration pattern. Shifting monsoon timings and increasingly severe storms create dangerous conditions for the butterfly's journey. Monitoring programs track population changes, hoping to protect this extraordinary natural phenomenon for future generations, a living reminder of nature's resilience and adaptability. Marine life diversity. Lakshadweep's waters host an astonishing variety of marine life, a living celebration of evolution's creative power. More than 500 fish species swim through these waters, from tiny clownfish sheltering in anemones to majestic manta rays with wing-like fins spanning up to 7 meters. This underwater paradise offers some of the most spectacular marine encounters in the Indian Ocean. The Agatti Bangaram Channel has earned fame as one of India's best locations for spinner dolphin encounters. These playful mammals perform their namesake aerial spins, complete rotations while airborne, seemingly for the pure joy of movement. Pods sometimes include 50 to 60 individuals, creating unforgettable spectacles for fortunate observers. Their acrobatic displays, with individuals leaping simultaneously or in choreographed sequences, appear almost like a planned performance for human visitors. Green sea turtles, their ancestors having swum these waters since dinosaur times, maintain important nesting sites on several islands. These ancient mariners, capable of living 80+ years, return to the same beaches where they hatch to lay their own eggs, continuing a cycle that has persisted for millions of years. During nesting season, female turtles haul themselves onto moonlit beaches, dig carefully constructed nests, and lay clutches of eggs before returning to the sea. A ritual unchanged since before humans first sailed these waters. Reef sharks, primarily blacktip and whitetip, patrol the edges of drop-offs where coral reefs meet deeper water. Despite their fearsome reputation, these elegant predators are typically shy around humans. Their presence indicates healthy marine ecosystems, as apex predators require robust food chains to sustain them. Watching their sleek forms glide effortlessly through the water is a reminder of evolutionary perfection. Bodies designed over millions of years for maximum efficiency. For many visitors, encounters with gentle manta rays create the most profound memories. These massive filter feeders, with brain-to-body ratios among the highest of any fish, show remarkable curiosity about human observers. Scientists have documented individual mantas recognizing specific divers across multiple encounters. Their graceful underwater flight, with wing-like fins propelling them through the water in balletic movements, creates an almost hypnotic effect on those lucky enough to swim alongside them. Juma Mosque of Kavaratti. Kavaratti's Juma Mosque stands as Lakshadweep's architectural crown jewel, a structure that tells the story of these islands through its very materials. Built centuries ago, the exact date remains disputed. The mosque combines indigenous building techniques with Islamic artistic traditions to create a spiritual space uniquely adapted to island life. What immediately captures attention is the mosque's unique use of coral stone. Unlike conventional building materials, coral stone offered what islanders had in abundance: a durable, workable medium harvested from ancient, naturally dead reef sections. Master craftsmen shaped these irregular pieces into precise building blocks without using a single nail, creating a structure that has withstood centuries of tropical storms and humidity. The mosque's true magic reveals itself inside, where thousands of coral pieces embedded with colored glass fragments create a dazzling effect. As sunlight streams through small openings, it interacts with these glass pieces, scattering colored light throughout the prayer hall in constantly shifting patterns. The effect changes hourly as the sun moves across the sky, creating a living light show that transforms the interior into a space of contemplation and wonder. This unconventional lighting system served a practical purpose in pre-electricity days, providing sufficient illumination for reading religious texts, while creating an atmosphere conducive to spiritual contemplation. Even today, many worshippers prefer natural light to electric alternatives during prayer times, preserving the original experience of the space as its creators intended. The mosque incorporates traditional Lakshadweep woodworking in its intricate ceiling and mihrab, prayer niche. Skilled carpenters transformed locally grown timber into elaborate geometric patterns that complement the coral walls. These wooden elements have withstood centuries of tropical climate, testament to both the quality of craftsmanship and the knowledge of material properties passed down through generations of island artisans. Local legends surround the mosque's construction. Some stories claim master builders received divine guidance for the innovative lighting design. Others tell of a competition between islands to create the most beautiful place of worship, with Kavaratti's architects developing their glass technique to claim victory. While historically unverifiable, these stories reflect the mosque's importance in local cultural identity and spiritual life. Minicoy Lighthouse. Standing proudly at 300 feet tall, Minicoy Lighthouse has been the guardian of Lakshadweep's southernmost waters since 1885. Its distinctive red and white horizontal bands make it visible for miles, a critical navigational aid in an era before GPS and modern maritime technology. This historic structure continues to serve its original purpose while offering visitors a window into the island's maritime history. Built during British colonial rule, the lighthouse represents a fascinating fusion of Victorian engineering and adaptation to island conditions. The structure had to withstand powerful monsoon winds and potential earthquakes, while remaining operational in isolation from mainland support. Engineers solved these challenges with ingenious design features, including a foundation system that anchors deep into the coral bedrock and a tapered construction that minimizes wind resistance. What makes this lighthouse particularly remarkable is its continued operation using much of its original machinery. While now electrified, many mechanical components date back to its construction, precision gears and lenses manufactured in the 19th century that continue performing their duty with remarkable reliability. The British-made Fresnel lens, with its carefully arranged prisms that magnify and focus light, remains a masterpiece of optical engineering. The lighthouse offers the archipelago's best panoramic views for those willing to climb its 300 spiral steps. From the observation deck, visitors gain a unique perspective, the entire bottle-shaped Minicoy Island spread below, surrounded by reef systems visible through crystal-clear water. On clear days, the view extends across miles of open ocean, with the distinctive boundary between lagoon and deeper water creating a striking color contrast that reveals the true nature of these coral islands. For generations of islanders, the lighthouse served as more than a navigational aid. Its regular flash pattern, visible from every village, provided time synchronization before wristwatches became common. Its powerful beam offered reassurance during storms, a constant reminder that connection to the wider world remained possible, even in the most isolated community. Today, the structure serves dual purposes, still functioning as an active navigational aid while also attracting visitors interested in maritime history. Traditional Jahadhoni boat craftsmanship. Lakshadweep's traditional Jahadhoni boats represent one of the world's most remarkable living maritime traditions. These distinctive vessels, with their high prows and elegantly curved hulls, are built entirely by eye, without formal plans or measurements. The knowledge required to create these seaworthy craft has passed through generations, creating an unbroken chain of craftsmanship that stretches back hundreds of years. Master boat builders inherit their knowledge through direct apprenticeship, often beginning training in childhood by watching elder craftsmen. They develop an intuitive understanding of wood properties, water dynamics, and structural principles that modern naval architects might express through complex mathematical equations. This knowledge encompasses not just construction techniques, but also an intimate understanding of local waters, how currents flow around islands, where reefs create passages, and how seasonal weather affects navigation. The construction process follows ancient rhythms. Craftsmen select specific trees based on each part's required characteristics: flexible wood for ribs, durable timber for keels. After careful seasoning, they shape each piece using simple hand tools, many of which would be recognizable to boat builders from centuries past. The process can take months, with each phase following traditional sequences believed to ensure the vessel's seaworthiness. What's most impressive is the precision achieved without measuring devices. Skilled builders create perfectly symmetrical hulls by comparing corresponding parts visually, making minute adjustments until balance is achieved. The resulting vessels handle remarkably well in local waters, designed specifically for Lakshadweep's unique coral channels and lagoons. Their shallow draft allows navigation over coral formations, while their maneuverability suits the quick directional changes needed when fishing around reefs. Jahadhoni historically served as lifelines connecting isolated communities. Before modern transportation, these vessels transported people, transported goods, carried messages, and facilitated marriages between islands. Many older islanders can recall journeys of 30-plus miles in small Jahadhonis, navigating by stars and currents with no modern navigation aids, a testament to both the boat's seaworthiness and the sailor's skill. Today, the tradition faces challenges. Modern fiberglass boats offer easier maintenance, while younger generations often pursue opportunities beyond traditional crafts. However, cultural revival efforts encourage continued boat building, recognizing these vessels as floating cultural heritage that embodies centuries of maritime knowledge worth preserving for future generations. If you enjoyed this journey through the hidden wonders of Lakshadweep, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more exciting travel guides and tips. Stay tuned for more adventures to come. Safe travels.